Good morning, children. Today we will be continuing with our lesson metals and non-metals. Okay, in the previous video we saw what is metals, how were they occurring in our nature, what are the non-metals and their properties. Now we will see a special property called rusting. Rusting is a process. It's a chemical process. Okay. And then when we say chemical process, we can say it is an irreversible change because you will not get the original substance again. There is some change in the constituents itself. Okay, that is there is going to be some change in the chemical reactions. Okay, so what is this? So what is rusting? Rusting is the process of forming a reddish brown flaky substance. Rusting means simple. In Tamil we will say thuru pidikkirathu. Whenever there is an iron based item, iron or iron based items. Iron means irumbu or like irumboda sambandhapatta ஐட்டங்கள் like stainless steel, okay, or some other metals where iron is mixed. In those cases, what happens is there is a problem of this rusting. So on that iron material, you will be having this reddish brown flaky substance which is called rust. How is this rust formed? Because iron will be reacting chemically with air. So what is there in air? We know air contains nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, etc. Nitrogen is totally inactive. So what are the other things which will be active? Our oxygen and water vapor. So this iron will react with oxygen and water vapor present in the air. Okay, and it will form the rust. So the rust is nothing but hydrated iron. Hydrated iron means what? Hydrated means hydrated. Immediately you should think of water. So water is mixing with iron. So it will become hydrated iron or ferric oxide. You can say ferric oxide because Fe2O3. Ferrous, ferric. Ferric will come when the valency 3 is used. Okay, so we are going to use 3. That is why it is called Fe2O3. This 2 is the valency of oxygen and this 3 is the valency of iron. Fe will stand for iron. Fe is the symbol for iron. So ferric oxide. So ferric oxide is the chemical name for the rust, and this will be your chemical formula for rust. Okay, so the reddish brown deposit is the rust, and the presence of water vapor and oxygen is necessary for this rusting process. Say the rusting of iron on the chains or in the ship. Okay, now what is happening? They are telling what is corrosion. Corrosion means what? Slowly. Okay, the metal will start reacting with oxygen present in the air and it will be slowly losing itself. It will be slowly eaten away by the atmosphere. So that is called corrosion. When the metal we are talking is iron, we call that corrosion as rusting. Okay, when the metal is iron, corrosion is called rusting. Okay, now coming to the corrosion of copper. How are we going to talk about copper? Corrosion, copper also will be corroding. Okay, so copper reacts with carbon dioxide. Copper will react with carbon dioxide. So see the copper coins, then it will become greenish substance. It will become a greenish color substance because copper will react with carbon dioxide and form copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Now, corrosion of silver. Silver we already know. We will be using silver. Is it not? We will be using silver in the form of rings, anklets, wherever we earrings. Okay. What will happen? silver will react with hydrogen sulfide gas present in atmosphere, and so only the silver will have this black color, black layer of silver sulfide. Okay, now all this process are very slow, irreversible and undesirable. Slow, undesirable change that takes place over a period of time. It weakens the strength of the iron objects. It will be weak, making the iron objects very weak, and then it will make them brittle. Brittle means it will be easily breaking. The iron, why are we going for iron? Iron is a very strong metal. That is why we are using for making the RCC, reinforced concrete. Why? Because that only will be very strong to hold the concrete, and it will be very strong for future also. Now when rusting is happening in iron, and when the iron is becoming brittle, that is it will be easily breaking. What is happening then? We cannot use iron at all. So you should not make iron get rusted. Okay, like ships and bridges are built of iron, and if they start getting rusted, then there is no use. So you should be able to prevent rusting. So how are we going to prevent rusting? First thing is we are going to paint them. We are going to paint them with oil paint, so that the air will not come in contact with the iron. Next, oiling or greasing. That is, we are going to apply a thin layer of oil on the iron objects, like our tools and machines. So what is happening? Oil will not allow water, will not mix with water. We know that. So when oil will not allow this moisture content present in the air to go and sit on the iron materials. Then galvanizing. Galvanizing means upon iron I am going to apply zinc. Zinc is also a metal. So I am going to apply a thin layer of zinc. That is called galvanization. Okay, so zinc is a corrosion resistant metal. That is very important. Which is a corrosion resistant? Zinc. So we can apply a thin layer of zinc on the iron pipes, which is supplying water to our homes. Electroplating. So we are going to do electroplating. Plating means what? I am going to put one metal over another, or apply one metal over another by using electricity. So that will become electroplating. The process of coating iron objects with a thin layer of metals which will not corrode is called electroplating. It need not be only iron. It can be any metal. I am going to put one metal over another metal, okay, to avoid corrosion. Like metals like nickel, chromium, copper are very less reactive with oxygen. So this type of metals can be put over iron. Say our kitchen articles like spoons and forks are coated with silver. So that is why it is called stainless steel, or it is like simple silver material, silver coating. Why? Because this silver coating will not make the moisture content present in the air to fall on the iron things like taps, like spoons and all. Okay. Then wheel rims are coated with chromium. Chrome wheels. Wheel rims are coated with chromium. Okay. Now coming to enamel. Enamel is a substance. Okay. So which is protect from rusting, which will protect the substance from rusting. We are going to put this enamel on all the steel vessels. Okay, iron vessels or the steel vessels. Okay, now coming to the tin plating. So galvanizing means we put zinc. For tin plating, we are going to put tin. Tin is a metal, okay, which is non-toxic, corrosion resistant free, less reactive with iron, less reactive than iron. So some iron objects are coated with a thin layer of tin to prevent them from rusting. Food packaging boxes are coated with tin. Then alloying, that is we are going to mix two or more materials, two more metals. More than materials, you can say metals. Okay, like nickel and chromium, which are corrosion free. We form an alloy. Like stainless steel is one such alloy. Stainless steel is an alloy made from nickel, chromium and iron. It is resistant to rust, hence we can use the cooking utensils. Okay, now you have an activity. So in this activity you can we observe what means we can take 3 test tubes. In all the 3 test tubes we are putting, in one test tube we are putting tap water, other test tube we are putting quicklime. Okay, and then we are going to put tap water with oil in the third one. Okay, now what happens when I put the nail? Nail means aani. In the pathale theriyudhu. In the screw hole aaniyo ulla potu vechomna, what is happening? The water will be in contact with the iron, so it will form the rusting. In the second situation we are having quicklime. Quicklime means sunnam thanni. We will not be knowing now. Earlier days we used to have this quicklime even at home for our immediate first aid purposes and all. So quicklime was nothing but we will be having, what will this quicklime do? This will absorb the moisture content in the air. It will absorb. So when it absorbs, it will not affect that nail. The moisture content will be absorbed by the quicklime and it will not affect the nail. So the nail will not get rusted. In this case, the oil will prevent. Here they have given oil, whereas in the written script they have given dilute acid. Okay, the iron will react with the dilute acid and then the iron will get corroded. It will be dissolved in the acid if it is an acid. But if it is oil and a tap water, this oil will prevent the reaction between the tap water and the nail. So in this case you can draw another test tube. You can draw another test tube with a stopcock and you can mark this as another nail. You can draw another nail and you can say this is a dilute nitric acid, dilute nitric acid or dilute sulfuric acid. 2 acids are there. Okay, we are putting only in the diluted form. What will happen means this iron will be reacting. Finally there will be no nail at all. அந்த இடத்துல நெயிலே இருக்காது. ஏன்னா அந்த ஆசிட்ல அது ரியாக்ட் ஆகி அது கரைஞ்சிரும். Simple example, like how we are putting sugar in the tea. Okay, what is happening? We are taking a spoon of sugar, we are putting in the tea, and then we stir, keep on stirring. What is happening? There will be no more sugar left because the sugar is totally soluble in the water or in the tea. Likewise, when I put this iron nail inside this dilute nitric acid or dilute sulfuric acid, it will be slowly reacting and then it will be totally dissolved. So that from this observation we understand rusting requires oxygen and moisture. Rusting requires oxygen and moisture. Okay, so coming to the revision zone. Silver, gold and platinum will exist in free state and are non-reactive. True. Rusting will occur in the presence of both air and moisture. True. That's what we proved now. The reddish brown deposit is known as rust. True. Most of the non-metals are malleable. No. Non-metals are not malleable. Metals are non-sonorous. No. Metals are sonorous. If I see, this is a steel bench. If I strike on it, you get the sound. So I am hitting a metal body with another body, I will be getting the sound. So that is called sonorous. So that is the property we learned for a metal. So sonorous means metals are sonorous. Here they have given metals are non-sonorous. So we have to mark it as false. Okay children, go through this, understand, and then if you have any doubts, please get back to me. Okay, thank you.